Hello, this is Polius Games with my final devlog on Corpo Connections. I released Corpo Connections on December 13th, so a little over 3 months ago. First, I want to talk about kind of how the release went. To sum it up, it was really rocky. My first piece of advice I want to give is if you are deciding between having your game be early access and you're still unsure, do not go through the Steam menus until you are sure that you want to be early access. I made that mistake. I clicked through and filled out like a description and my entire like early access release plan probably 3 weeks before launch date. And then that night or the next day, I'm like, no, I'm just, gonna power through and release it, how it is. So I undid early access, and what happened was it put my page back into needing to be reviewed. So I had made sure that everything was ready to go like months in advance. My page had been approved, like everything was ready to go. So it was really a gut punch on the release date when I go to release my game and there's no release button. I'm like, searching on Google and looking at the images, can't find it. Thankfully, Steam support was really amazing. They got back to me the same day, so my game released about 5 to 7 hours late on release day. That was a minor issue compared to the issue that my game was literally unplayable. So I was using Godot, and when I was exporting, I was playtesting all the versions just to make sure that they ran, and it would give me, when I exported it, the exe and some other files, and I only uploaded the exe to Steam. So when you ran the game, there was no player character, no assets outside of basically tile maps, but when I would run it, I had the other files on my computer, so I couldn't see any issues. Um, because I am not very smart, but am very anxious, I did not check any feedbook for almost a month. So that meant not only did I disappoint people who had been following me or maybe watching these devlogs, which is definitely like the worst part of it, but I also missed out on other potential sales. The only comments in the community are, very negative at this point, but people were still understanding. So after that, about mid-January, the game's finally playable. So about a month after release. At this point, I'm, completely anxious and overwhelmed. I'm not replying to emails, just being very avoidant. So, continuing this cycle of letting people down. I got a lot of emails that I initially responded to with different offers for things. I'm not really sure still at this point, what the right move was, but I did, probably miss out on opportunities for localization or, definitely just like collaboration or connecting with other people that could be really useful in the future. So my advice there is to not do that, to take a deep breath and to just, kind of take it with a grain of salt. It's okay. Anyone, who is reaching out to you about your art is interested in some way. So overall, I'm really happy with where things are at now. My main piece of advice, like I said earlier, don't click that early access button. Make sure your game is actually running. Try to run it on a different PC if possible. If not possible, delete everything that you have downloaded so you're really downloading it from a clean slate. And just you know try to engage as much as you are able to while still maintaining your sanity. A lot of people releasing their first game individually are probably also working a full-time job. So it is a lot. It is very mentally taxing. And, you've already done the hard part at this point. So as far as like metrics and everything, I don't have, exact things in front of me, but I was really happy with how it did overall. I sold enough copies to hit the $100 mark and get paid by Steam my first month after release. So that was amazing. I, kind of feel like I'm actually a game developer now. Sales have definitely slowed down though. I haven't done any more marketing. I haven't put it on sale, but I am planning a sale that coincides with my next game release that I'm going to talk about a little later in the video. So, in terms of other metrics of success, the Steam community notes section was actually surprisingly active, even if at the start it was mostly just people telling me my game was unplayable. I also had a streamer cover the demo of my game. I'm going to try to find that and post the link either in the video or down in the description below. But that was a huge deal to me. I was just Googling, the game and then saw that video. It was very mixed feedback, definitely not anything that I feel negatively about at all. Like the game was really not a game at that point. The video was very well done. It was a great video. I was, so nervous that I had to like get the transcript and just read through that before I could actually watch the video. So that is, kind of the conclusion, I would say, of the devlog series for Corpo Connections. I'm going to kind of share with you guys some of the future plans going forward. I guess the main update I want to share is I'm trying to condense things. So like the subreddit for Corpo Connections never took off. I think I had only one poster the entire time on maybe like the initial post, again, saying the game was unplayable. I was going to delete it, and then I found out you can't delete a subreddit. So I was probably checking it like every 2 weeks. I'm probably not really going to be doing that. If at any point I log in and someone has made a post or done something like that, then I would definitely be interested in maybe starting it up again in the future. Um, I'm also not going to be posting on Instagram any longer. I feel like that's really unfortunate because I really built a great community there. But if you follow me on Instagram, you know that when they removed the functionality of the hashtag feature and made it to where you couldn't sort by newest posting, it lost a lot of the functionality to connect with other smaller creators. And so while the community I have there is amazing, and I do appreciate them, I'm hoping to connect with most of those people on Blue Sky or here on YouTube. There's also the whole I don't know. Zuckerberg, not a huge fan. I'll leave it at that. But you can definitely find me on Blue Sky at Polius Games. I'm going to be leaving my Instagram accounts up as well as my TikTok up. Probably also not going to be posting on TikTok much going forward. There's also, there's various things going into all of this, but main takeaway here is that you can find everything on my Blue Sky, which the link is down below. As far as video game updates, so I participated in a short game jam recently where I made my first 3D game, Inspection Day. It's a kind of bouncy Papers, Please ripoff that is nothing right now, but might be something more fleshed out and fun in the future. My actual current project is that I am starting a anthology of scrapbooking horror games. Its current working title is Scraps for the entire anthology. They're going to be games based on my real life experiences, mostly vacations right now because scrapbooking, and then kind of mashed up with monsters and urban legends and kind of folklore creatures, things like that. The first game, which right now is being called the Tubing Incident, I'm finished prototyping it. I am still adding in a couple more features, trying to flesh out the real, the gameplay loop, trying to make that much tighter, much more fun than my last game, trying to make it more present, more meaningful. So after I get past that point and I feel like it's fun to play, once I start working on the graphics is about the time I'll put up the Steam page. I'm hoping in a couple months. So realistically, we're probably looking at 6. I might do a devlog series with that. I want to say right now, probably not. I might just do like a final postmortem video kind of in the same style as this. So for anyone who has still gotten to this point and is curious about anything else, another roadblock that I ran into is we adopted a 10-week puppy 3 weeks before launch. Would recommend for cuteness, would not recommend for game launch. We also made a property purchase and have some land, so I'm hoping to get a studio set up. As I'm able to make more games and put them up on Steam, my hope is that eventually this can transition into more of a full-time and less of a hobby thing, so it'd be great to kind of have a space already to go to. And last but most importantly, none of this video, these games, none of it would be possible without the support that I've gotten from people, both IRL and in all my online communities, reaching out, playing the game, leaving comments, leaving likes, the people that purchased it, the people who emailed me back and forth about problems. If you're watching this and somehow you bought a copy and you're not hearing until now that if you bought it when it was unplayable, if you send me an email, I will get you a Steam key so that you can go ahead and refund that since it can be completed in under 2 hours. Everybody should be good there. But yeah, as always, thank you for watching the video. Thank you for playing my games. Thank you for interacting with my art. Please leave any comments, any feedback, any questions. I love to hear from you guys, and I will see you all later.